Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just get a sense the tension, stress is leaving your body in your outward breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, allow yourself to breathe out for longer than you normally would. Accepting the suggestion that tension is leaving your body in your outward breath, and therefore, the longer your outward breath, the deeper you breathe in and the more that you exhale, the more that feelings of stress and tension is leaving your body, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. As your eyelids get heavier and heavier, as you release any tension in your jaw, your forehead, your neck and your shoulders, I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a bright white light, and accept the suggestion that this bright white light is healing white light. And I want you to imagine that as you breathe in through your nose, you're breathing in that healing white light, feeling it going in through your nose, down your windpipe into your lungs, allowing your heart to do what it does with oxygen, to extract that healing white light and to pump it to every cell in your body. As you exhale, see a darker, shadowy grey representation of the tension, stress and anxiety leaving your body in that outward breath. And I want you to use that same power of your imagination to imagine something deep inside that is wounded. And maybe this thing that you can imagine represents your trust in people. Or maybe it represents what represents that vulnerable essence of you. And as you breathe in that healing white light, I want you to imagine this part of you healing, getting stronger, repairing itself, breathing in that healing white light of resourcefulness and exhaling tension, stress, and anything you've been holding on to which no longer serves you, enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. As you keep breathing in that healing white light, I want you to notice the point at which this thing inside that represents trust or vulnerability or something else is fully healed. And when you feel that it's healed, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And in life, whenever you've incurred an injury or been hurt, haven't you always reflected on that moment to think about what you can do differently to reduce the likelihood of it happening again? If you twist an ankle when playing a sport, you might be more careful with your footwear. If you burn yourself picking up something, you're more cautious around the same thing. And I want you to accept the suggestion that you are wiser from whatever the experience was that created this wound. And you can create new boundaries to reduce the probability of these things happening again. But you can also become more resourceful. And I want you to think of a time where you were at your most stoic, at your most unflappable. I want you to imagine seeing yourself like you're someone else where you felt that level of resources. See your facial expression. See what you were wearing at the time. See what you were surrounded by. And know that there was something in you at that point in time that kept you safe. Enabled you to do what was necessary. And I want you to change your facial expression to be more similar to that version of you, that stoic, unflappable version of you. I want you to breathe in the same way that that version is breathing, perhaps deeper. I want you to adopt a similar posture to that version of you. And feel like you're accessing that stoic, unflappable resource state. And then imagine drifting into that memory. So you are now in the first person, seeing what you saw when you were in that moment, but more importantly, feeling what you felt back then. Your inner dialogue had a tonality. Remember it. Your breathing had a rhythm to it. And synchronize that rhythm. The way that you looked at the things around you had a pace to it. And I want you to reintegrate with how you felt back then. And realize that this stoic, resourceful feeling has a location. And I want you to intuitively point to where you think this location may be inside you. And I want you to create an image of a three-dimensional shape there in that place. Maybe a cube, a pyramid. And while it's there, I want you to notice, does it have a color? And if so, make that color brighter. If it moves, perhaps spins, spin it faster in the same direction. Give a sound to this feeling where you're stoic and unflappable. And then I want you to imagine that when you put your hand on that location, you can trigger this feeling whenever you need it. And let's try that now. Just put your hand on that location, feeling that that is activating that resource state. And relax. That's it. And I want you to think that this resource could be useful in other areas of your life. You intuitively access this resource state when you need it. But what if you need it in other situations? And I want you to remember a time where you were hurt, perhaps betrayed. I want you to observe what happened there, as if you're watching yourself like you're someone else. Almost like you're watching a movie of you starring in this movie. Seeing the point at which something happened and you felt that betrayal or that hurt. Noticing your facial expressions, noticing how your body changed. And I want you to rewind that. And then imagine the version of you before it even happened is experiencing the same moment now with that glowing shape in that location, spinning in that way. See that version of you putting their hand on that location, activating that state, and then observe yourself as you experience the same memory in this stoic, resourceful, unflappable state. And notice that you can handle it much easier. You're almost grateful for what happened, because the betrayal meant that someone revealed a card that perhaps was hidden up to that point. That you are now wiser of this individual, their agenda, their motive than you were before. And therefore, you remain intact, shielded by a similar force field that you have when you've been in different parts of your life, different times in your life. Almost a sense of acceptance that every now and then people will surprise you positively, but also surprise you in a disappointing way. They reveal that they're not the person you thought they were. But in a way, that makes it easier to make life choices. Because from that point onwards, you can make life choices without that person being a part of it. I want you to imagine if you were playing a card game and you knew everyone else's cards. It's very easy to win that game. And I want you to consider that whether it's maliciousness, betrayals, agendas, or gossip, you're almost grateful when people play these cards because it's people telling you who they really are, not who you hoped they would be. Rewind that version of you again and then step into that version of you and re-experience the same memory that originally left you with a feeling of being hurt or betrayed, but now breathe the way you breathe when you're in that stoic, unflappable state of mind, prepared for the very worst, and re-experience the same moment. And notice that when the betrayal is revealed, you can't help but smile, grateful that a card has been played to make it super easy for you to make choices going forward. Time is your scarce resource. And by this person playing the card that they've played saves you from wasted time, but also saves you from all of the consequences that could have happened had you not known what this person was really like. And if you can tap into a feeling of gratitude and appreciation that you are now wiser from this experience, let me know by nodding your head. And then I want you to imagine a future moment. Perhaps something 3, 6, 9, 12 months in the future, where it would be useful for you to have this stoic, unflappable state of mind, believing that people are inherently good, but still accepting that sometimes good people can do bad things. Sometimes good people can be jealous or resentful. And observe that future version of you handling a situation that in the past would have caused pain and hurt, but now is like water off a duck's back. Doesn't faze you at all. But notice that this future version of you can still be composed, still smile, that you don't need to dim your light in order for others to feel brighter, that you can shine just as bright, but equally know that other people no longer have the ability to reduce your energy or to dim your light. When all parts of your subconscious mind are confident that this would be a useful resource state and that you can access it just by putting your hand on that location, imagining that shape spinning in that way, in that color, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And then I want you to return to the present, feeling that you are wiser through the experience, feeling that a wound has been healed, and feeling that it is not your job to evaluate people any sooner than is possible. People will show you their cards. All you have to do is pay attention to them. And when people reveal who they really are, you will have no qualms in making decisions based on that evaluation that protect you and enable you to maintain your flow of energy, drive, and positivity. All parts in the present, activating all the useful resources as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Get a sense that you're back in your body, listening to my voice in the present as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.